are. Hello.
Guys, thanks for joining us.
You guys can hear and see us okay.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Monday.
I'll take my mic off here.
Yeah. You got a big mic. You don't need that one.
We got a proper mic.
I know. Well, those are also proper, but...
You're not singing into this little thing. That's a proper mic for singing.
True, yeah. Are we singing tonight?
You never know. Could go any which way.
This keeps saying that the internet connection is slow, but... See, that's not the case. That's a little close. What's going on here? What's going on? There we go. All right. Nope. Just a week of technical difficulties, folks.
Guys,
you have no idea.
You only knew the half of today.
Bear with us. 2 minutes. Just giving us fits today.
There was 1 second.
Okay.
Good?
Nope.
What's going on?
I don't know. Take a couple questions while I mess around with this.
All right. Let's see what we got. Hello to everyone. I'm going to sneak up to the top here. All right, Zach Ward. Add to broadcast. Okay, Zach, should you play your driving iron shaft the same weight as your hybrid shaft, or should it be heavier? I mean, obviously, player to player, Zach, that's always going to change. I would say you're going to play your driving iron shaft similar to hybrid, lighter than irons, heavier than fairway woods. Okay, so it's always going to find that middle ground. I think 100 grams, 90 to 105 grams is a nice sweet spot for most people.
That's what most of the ones on the wall seem to be, in that range.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're temporarily okay here.
Good.
I don't know what the hell is going on. What a day. It's the Twilight Zone.
I know. Let's sneak back up.
Yeah, sorry, you were up there.
Okay. Okay, let's see, Andrew. All right. Any info on Diamana Thump fairway shaft being fitted into it with an F934? Can't find any info or reviews about it online. Interesting, Andrew.
Thump?
Yeah, we have one
Yeah,
right over there. Yeah, I played the Thump for a little while. Andrew, it's very, very soft in the tip section. Extremely.
The Thump is?
Yeah, very, very soft. I actually didn't get on all that well with it because I just couldn't time the thing. So it is a little bit firmer in the butt section, a little bit softer in the tip section. It's a sort of relative in the family of the Thump Hybrid, which was the kind of legendary hybrid shaft.
Yeah.
But
Good profile for a 3-wood generally, though?
Yeah, I mean, I find it very good for slower swing speeds, people who need a little bit more of an active tip section, maybe somebody who's a hair on the steep side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do some sort of, 55 and 65 regulars.
Nice. Okay. What do you want to grab? You want to grab this lying one?
Yeah, just throw a bunch of ads.
This is timely. We just filmed a video about that.
We did.
Okay, so this is a great question, Adam. So Adam's saying that he's getting the ball going where he wants it to go with a decent strike, but he's 4 degrees toe down through impact. So what is kind of the acceptable range? And give us your general. We literally filmed the video on this today, so we're not going to go into super detail.
Sure.
But obviously there's times when someone's dynamic lie is not 0, but their shots are going straight or going the way they want them to go. So what is your view on that of relationship?
Yeah, there's an allowable amount of tilt to the head. So there's tolerance with these things. So as long as we're not lifting the heel or toe or tilting it too much to the point where we're sacrificing strike and energy going into the ball. So generally, 2-3 degrees of tilt is generally okay.
Adam's at 4 is kind of borderline, but it's okay. It's still okay.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really want to be tilting it too much. I mean, I've seen some 7s and 8s, and we want to try and avoid that. We would get into the territory of, perhaps needing a lesson at that point just to see what's going on. So
There is a long, good video coming on that later this week, though, Adam, so stay tuned. All right. So Tim was asking about PXG. The woods, they are still on our list. I know I typed you a quick answer, Tim, but yeah, they're still on our list.
Yeah.
We kind of got to TaylorMade a little bit today, but we're missing a head. So we didn't get through as much TaylorMade as we wanted to today. We only did one video with the new stuff, so we're a little, for many reasons, we're a little behind schedule on some of our reviews. So they are still coming.
They are still
We'll
coming.
just require your patience a little bit longer. And to that question, yes, we filmed a little bit with M6 today.
We did.
Just kind of like a introductory video.
Yeah, I mean, we done some with it. It's fine. It's it's testing okay.
It's comparable to some other stuff. Nothing crazy, that's for sure.
No, I mean, I think without again giving the punchline of the video away, it's the market is very fair this year. It's very level.
true.
Everyone's making good product. So I don't think anyone's going to run away with the title of best driver in the market.
No, and especially with people being better educated on. Sorry, guys, lost you for a minute there. Yeah, the internet is it's acting up a bit. Forgive us. All right, let's get back on track.
Refreshing again. Is it still doing that?
No, that's probably just because I clicked out of it. All right. Bear with us a moment. Sorry.
Let's see if we can start.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
The internet. We got a bad internet connection today, boys and girls. Sorry. All right. We were about right here. Okay. Joe's asking about the Ping Tour shaft. Do they have a new one for this year? In the 410? It looked different.
410.
I'm pretty sure they had something. We tried it at the show.
Yeah, I have not. Did we try it? Did you hit it?
There was
Eric gave it to you at the show.
Yeah, there was a new.
He picked you out a 65X or something like that.
Yeah.
At the show.
We don't even have them in yet.
No, we do not. Well, I believe we actually do. I literally just was on phone to our Ping rep just 2 minutes ago.
Gotcha.
Apparently we do. So, I mean, higher balance point is always the way with the Ping stuff. So you can liken it, I suppose, to something like Rogue, probably something that's.
Take a question while I go see what's wrong with this internet.
Sorry, guys.
I don't know why it's doing that. It's plugged in.
We're getting issues today. Getting issues. All right. Let's see. All right, Matt. Let's see. So, thinking of changing from PSI irons to P760s. Do you think this would be a good change or not? I think it'd be a good change. Yeah, I didn't think an awful lot of the PSI irons, to be honest, Matt. So I think the 760 is a really nice iron. I love the progression and technology. I love the feel. I think that would be a very, very smart choice.
You want to turn your Wi-Fi on your phone off? I think maybe we got a full house tonight, so I think maybe the router is getting overloaded. That's the only thing I can think of because everything else is exactly the way we have it every other week. Is Jamie still in here?
Okay.
Hopefully that helps. Sorry, guys. This is not our finest.
Matthew, will you sue me if I get if you get this find the same jacket as you?
Will I sue you?
I will not sue you.
No.
No. Take it as a compliment.
Okay. What is this thumbnail?
What is that?
Look at Eric's thumbnail. Yeah. I'm not putting that up. That's funny. Okay. From Harold. Thank you, Harold.
Thank you, Harold.
I'm going to be scrolling if you have a question. We will get to it.
Tim, please answer it. Please ask that one.
Where's
Tim
that?
Morgan. That one.
Oh, here, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tim's got a question about putters. Haven't talked about putters much recently, have we?
The unfortunate in this day and age, the fact that it comes down to even a question, or is it down to look and feel?
I know.
Is nails down the chalkboard for a club fitter?
Well, because people don't I think there's enough content to understand club fitting is super important for everything, but there's not a whole lot. Even we're guilty of it. We out of 200 something videos, we have like 3 putter videos.
Yeah.
So I don't think people are aware of the fact that, if anything, the putting fitting is actually even more, I guess, detailed. There's more depth to it. There's so many variables you can play with.
Look and feel or preferences.
So no different than saying I like the look of a TaylorMade M5.
Yeah.
That would be the same
But if you hit it off
conversation.
the planet,
Don't
you're
use
not
it.
going to buy it. Just because you like the look of it. No, I mean, we're looking for delivery characteristics. We're looking for the putter that matches the way you obviously deliver the club and putt and stroke it, and your rate of rotation and your dynamic loft and strike point, and
There is so much.
There's so much going on with putting, and it's not all that far removed from the regular swing. I will say the one thing though is we can control it a lot easier because it's much less dynamic. So it's very easy, way less going on. So when we match up the club face to a player's stroke profile, loft, and all these other things, we can get it dialed in very quick. But there's a lot more to it than just looks and feel.
If you haven't seen anything with Quintic, which is the software and the technology that Ian uses here, watch, what was the last putting video we did?
I don't remember.
Go to the homepage, Tim, and search putting. Look at a couple of those videos because it's actually quite amazing how many different variables get assessed. 2K, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, Tim, I'm not sure. Someone, you may have sent this email into us the other day. Someone sent us an email into our info@TXG. I spotted it last night when I was scanning through my own emails. But Tim's asking if he's been hitting the gym, losing weight. Should I wait until I reach the goal before getting fitted for new irons? Who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, maybe not. It can change some stuff. It can change your grounding and kind of your balance, things like that. But go. I would just say go play golf and go hit balls and see how you feel with it.
You may end up swinging the same. You never know.
There's no club fitters going to tell you how you feel and that type of thing. So I would say go hit some balls and see how good you feel with your kind of the balance of your new body and that sort of thing.
Like, he's just got to be consistent. As long as he's feeling like he's delivering a pattern of shots and it's what he believes is consistent for him, then you can come in for a fit.
I mean, I think the nature of our biology, Tim, is that we always change.
True enough.
Whether we're never the same
week to week,
day to day.
Yep.
Morning, one we get out of bed one side, the next day we get out of bed the other, and our moods change. So we're always managing change. So
True.
I wouldn't think it's too big of a deal.
Okay. All right. All right.
Scanning here, Matty.
Let's go with. This is an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these hybrids, it's a good question, like G410 and Apex, both of which we've reviewed recently.
Yep.
They're a little slimmer, a little bit more compact.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question is that going to cut into the driving iron market? Because it's almost like a new category in a way. It's sort of the like, I know there's companies that have a crossover, but it's almost, there's now another crossover category. There's full size hybrids, then there's kind of your players slimmer hybrids, and then it's a driving iron.
Yeah, and I think they'll always. I mean, you could always create these subsections of categories. I think. Do you predict a trend of less driving irons due to the appearance of better players? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I think they'll.
I think driving irons, if anything, are on the uptake, aren't they?
They probably did peak a little bit last year and stuff.
So?
With P790 and Apex and Strixon U85, things like that. But I think both will continue to be very popular. The driving iron's a funny one, isn't it? It comes in waves. You know, it kind of shows up and then it disappears, and it comes back and it disappears.
It's got to be depending on like tour players, who's winning, who's playing well, who's seeing people using it, basically.
I would probably say it's more to do with the evolution of the iron technology itself and whether it lends itself to being a driving iron. Like a P790, for example, like
It's a driving
it's
iron.
a roaster.
Yeah,
So you know it's perfect for being a driving iron. And it's low spin and all those sorts of things. So if the technology at the time lends itself to the use and utilization, then it makes more sense.
Okay. Aaron's asking if there's a new AVX ball coming
Haven't
out this
heard
year.
of one.
Yeah, haven't heard. There's new Pro Vs, but not sure. They don't usually. Do they do mid-year releases on balls?
No, PGA show.
It's probably a no, Aaron. More than likely.
I am. Al has just entered the building.
Big Al. Good. Just having multiple internet issues, but other than that, we're good. I think it's okay now. But in all seriousness, if your phone is on Wi-Fi, can you turn it off? Yeah, because our network is, if you don't mind, yeah, thank you. The router is overloaded tonight. Okay. I know. Okay.
Hold on. Let's go back here.
Oh, okay. Ping G410.
Why so little time on the G410 Plus driver evaluation, and why not against G400 and G400 Max against advanced evaluation? No, probably not. I didn't think we overlooked it by any means, or
It's just the first video we did with it,
Yeah.
Lee. We will definitely revisit it.
I wouldn't think so.
So here's part of the issue is that we didn't really expect it because it's not G410 Max. We didn't really think it would have the same spin profile as Max. So when we made that video, I think we were almost a little bit caught off guard, expecting it to be more comparable to mine because drivers generally get a little bit lower spin when they're.
The nature of all these things, we just redone a testing video today with Strixon, because
were trying to hit
we
some.
tested it 6 months ago, and we wanted to kind of see how it stacks up against current ones. Yeah, we'll hit it again, and there's certainly no lack of love for the G410. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I love it or I don't know if I don't love it because we don't even have it in the shop yet.
That's the other issue, Lee, is we don't have the right loft options and stuff. So part of it, guys, honestly, when we are briefed with something, it's usually, and you'll see with TaylorMade this week, like you'll see a video, we'll say at the end of the video, like, oh, we're gonna fit this now. We didn't because we don't have the right heads. So. Unfortunately, there's a few products that we just don't have the right options for to do the level of detail videos that we have done.
Well, and I will say this little caveat to that. Your swings changed in a way that we requested the right stuff, and it didn't work.
True.
Right,
Yeah,
so we were
testing
requesting
TaylorMade.
We requested 10.5 heads for Matty.
Yeah.
And then when we got 10.5 heads for Matty, they weren't the right heads. So
they're too much spin.
they had too much spin. So
Yeah.
it's kind of the nature of us getting stuff when it's pre-release. Is that we're requesting specific lofts. We need to just get all the lofts in and then figure it out for ourselves.
True.
So
but
that's all.
In a nutshell, we'll definitely look at it.
We
more.
like it. We know it's going to be one of the top dogs for the year. So
yeah, more to come. More to come on everything. When in doubt, assume we'll film stuff with it again. Okay, I want to catch up with some of these people that have sent us tips because they've been sitting for quite a while. Thank you for that, MJ.
What's that question there?
Okay, so is a driver going to wear out is basically what he's asking.
No.
Even if you've hit 2,000, I probably hit 8,000 drivers a year.
Definitely
It would take a structural failure.
Yeah.
So no, you're good to go. They don't wear out.
Nope.
Okay, let's grab one in the center area here. What does that mean? Okay. Give us something comparable. Again, we get asked so many questions about hazardous. I feel like we have to answer some of these. What's a comparable shaft to hazardous yellow? Yellow is the softer, higher launch one, is it?
No, that's the red.
the red.
The yellow is the stiff tip, high balance point
Oh, okay. So it's the
option. Let's see what's out there in the marketplace. Higher balance point. Certainly Tensei Orange is out there in high balance point. So I think Tensei Orange Pro would be significantly stiffer than Hazardous Yellow, but the regular Tensei Orange might be more comparable.
So the CK, not the Pro.
Yeah, we've got the what else is high balance point? Probably the Pro 2.0 by Fujikura.
Oh, okay.
Pretty comparable as well. So just understanding obviously the characteristics of it. The big thing with the Hazardous Yellow is it's the higher balance point. That's why most people would choose it. Still very stable.
All right. This is a good question. So recently fit for ping irons. I'm assuming you're talking about a 6 iron. More than likely he would be, right?
Yeah.
So 4,300 RPMs of spin. He was getting quite a bit of run out now. That might have been simulated by Trackman, but sounds like the ball flight is a little on the low side.
Yeah, I mean, it depends again on what the delivery characteristics of the player are, as we know. I mean, I worked with a player last week, Matty, who couldn't get spin rate above 4,000.
Okay. With a 6 iron.
Yeah, with a 6 iron.
Yeah.
We got it up a little bit, to be honest, with a cut golf ball of all things.
Of course.
We got it up a little bit higher, but
Captain spin.
The benefit of the spin being higher was just a little bit more stopping power. So I would say try to get the spin a little bit closer to 5,000. Run out, relative on launch monitors is always an estimation.
It can be complete guess at times.
I would say look at things like, where's your apex, where's your angle of descent. Those are keys.
How to actually see how the ball's stopping.
Yeah, we got to try and make sure it's at least 40 degrees in angle of descent. Spin rate, as I said, closer to 5,000 if it's possible. But if the delivered loft is too low, then it might not be. I mean, Ping i500 is one of the stronger irons. It just depends what spec it was at. Power spec, standard spec, retro spec.
So a functional recommendation: A, try weakening the lofts, or B, look for a spinnier golf ball.
Or both.
Or both.
Or all. Yeah,
if you need
definitely.
Both. All right. That's pretty common. We get that question quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quickly, who do you recommend in Arizona? Are Cool Clubs in Arizona?
Cool Clubs are in Arizona. They do a great job. Friend of, if you're going there, Alan Gabeski is a fantastic fitter at Cool Clubs. Justin Nelson's another great one at Cool Clubs. True Spec have a store there. I don't know any of the fitters that fit out of there personally at that location, but they do a great job.
Okay. Yep. A couple options for you, Ryan, in your area, hopefully. Okay. Whisker, this is probably exactly what's wrong. There's probably a big load of snow on our internet connection.
I would imagine.
All right, from Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Daniel, thank you very much. Hot melt in driver heads. So Daniel's looking at the Epic Flash Sub-Zero. Okay, so he's looking at it for an acoustic change.
That's basically what most people use it for now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the nature of today's iron, you take an iron like F9, and I've seen a load of F9s being hot melted recently. It has 2 movable ports at the front and the back. So.
Sorry, you're talking about drivers, right?
Drivers. Yeah. So.
People are hot melting that to change the sound.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why does so take Epic Flash for example? What is it like? It's literally changing the amount the sound is echoing in the head. What is it?
It's so if you take a driver like a Nike Sasquatch Square, why was that the loudest driver of all time? Because it had the most footprint of mass of all drivers.
Okay.
So in terms of the sound bouncing off the walls, which is basically what it does inside the head.
A lot of that.
It had a lot of space to travel. So
makes sense.
when you change the composition of the inside of the driver and add a resin in there that has a different, obviously, that is made differently, and resin is going to, be a lot more mute than
like
thin-walled titanium.
I was gonna say, it's like putting acoustic panels in a sound studio. just changes the
Just
amount
changes.
the sound can.
That's it. It's the wall. It's the surface that the noise hits.
So then, if he takes his driver somewhere, do they hot melt and like move the head around so it makes a layer all over?
No,
It's
no.
all at the
Normally it will be held in a spot. So the preference for Daniel would be: do you want it heel toe, front, back, that
Or
sort of
just
thing?
flat so it doesn't change the CG too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Daniel. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, a lot
Interesting
of
question.
players still really like it because they've gotten very used to the sound.
So
of
it deadens it quite a bit.
Yeah,
There's probably a couple of drivers that could use that this year, right? A couple that we've hit.
might want to start with light headweight so you can put enough in there.
Exactly. Okay, Caleb. Caleb, I saw your message from earlier, but I did not see a question.
Caleb, there's a black hole where your
I know.
questions go.
This happened last week too.
know.
I didn't see your question, but if I
try
come
and
across it,
find
I will get to it. I apologize if the system is messing you up. Ray's asking. It's a good question. I know, Ray. So, yeah, they look good. Everyone was ogling them at the show, and then I got the good news that they don't exist in left hand.
And I just got my 4-iron.
Are you going to tease your new set? No, we're going to make a video about it. Don't talk about it too much. Ian's got some new clubs, though. We're going to make a video about it next week. He got some nice looking stuff. Okay, Alex. Thank you very much for that, Alex. Appreciate your support. Thoughts on the Tensi Pro White and Orange at 50 grams? That exists? Is it 50 gram Tensi Orange? Or is that not the Pro?
I have not seen the Pro at 50 grams.
So that might be the non-Pro.
I have not seen that one. That one does not exist in our matrix.
Ian's checking right now, Alex. Bear with us.
Wrong, which I often am.
So Alex is looking for, so he wants a very light shaft. Lightest shaft he can get that within reason has the stiffest tip and lowest launching profile. So if this doesn't exist, then we'll recommend you something else, Alex, in that weight range. Ian's just looking as we speak. Stand by. Tensi Pro White 50. Okay, so 50 is a yes in the white. Just looking at orange as we speak. And stiff. Okay, so
I didn't think they'd done a TX in the orange. So yeah, they do a white TX.
So Alex, he may not be looking
stiff.
for an X Flex anyway. So you can get a 50 gram. You can get a 50 gram in either of those. Is that probably your best bet for tip stiffness every week?
Tough one.
Tip stiff profiles in 50 grams. Is there anything that's going to be that weight and as tip stiff as those two?
What would be that light and that stiff?
The wheels are turning. If anyone's got an answer off the top of their head, it's probably
GP5 would be pretty good as well. That's very, very stiff in the tip section.
So that's a graphite design Tour AD GP.
Yep, it is.
5.
I mean, I tell you what, the Acra TZ5 M5 is very tip stiff as well. And then remember, with all these things, you can make it as tip stiff as you want, just by tipping it.
Yes.
So
true.
It's not something that has to, follow the exact EI curve in order to just be the most tip stiff.
So those are his best options.
Yeah, I would say TZ5 M5, graphite design, and Tensi.
And the Tensi's and 50s.
White Pro White at 50 TX.
And if he is in a stiff range, then the orange would be good.
Alex, tell us
let us know
a little bit more about your swing
speed
speed and kind of what you've got going on. And I would say, and I always just guard people away from trying to cure like spin.
No,
shafts.
for sure.
I would love to know what head you're using and stuff, so we can make sure you're just not in a slightly spinny head.
Follow up with us. We'll get. We're making our way down the list, so
Yeah.
let us know. Quickly going to take this. Is it okay to be fit with Trackman instead of GC Quad? I would say absolutely.
Yeah, I would certainly say so.
Especially if it's outdoors, no reason not to. I think GC Quad you've seen is very reliable indoors, but obviously
Trackman indoors, what you really want to be careful with that is spin rates. You want to be very, very careful on spin rates. So how to identify a rogue spin rate from Trackman is it actually shows up italicized.
Yep.
So if you see the standard font and all the other numbers and you see the spin rate in italics, it used to show up yellow, but then they changed it so, because people be like, why is there a yellow number and why is there 15 white ones?
It basically means it doesn't know.
Basically, it's a guesstimate. So,
But given, if you go to a facility that only has Trackman, it's not like it's a bad, fit. It's still a good machine to be fit on.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I know you definitely prefer GC Quad, and there's obviously reasons why it's better indoors. So
Quad is superior indoors, guys. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Okay. I'm gonna put this up. That's good to hear. I'm glad you received your stuff. Yes, we do need to sell it more on these streams. There's some store updates coming next couple weeks. I'm prioritizing some stuff on that, so stay tuned. Does a higher spinning golf ball help a slice? That's an interesting question. Okay.
But square club face does.
Okay. So hold on. So why does that? No, but it's not a fair question because a higher spinning ball could help a hook. You would say no?
It wouldn't be in my top.
Okay, so it's not a priority.
5.
Gotcha. Yeah. Look elsewhere if that's what.
Yeah, got to get the delivery dialed in there. Got to make sure you've got the face matching the path as much as possible, the strike point down, all those sorts of things.
From Mick. Yes, we will do that, Mick. Absolutely. That will be part of the ultimate shootout.
We'll definitely do that, Mick. Yeah, we'll do. We're really keen to do this ultimate shootout in the next kind of few weeks. Once we have everything coming in.
I need to get my neck fixed, but yes, we'll get into it.
I know.
I'm going for rehab, and we're getting the rest of our shipments, and then we'll do that video.
Yeah.
It is coming.
It's coming, Mick.
All right. Would you recommend an overlength driver shaft to increase swing speed?
I mean, I've tried it, and it depends on your swing type. If you're the type of person who has an excellent kinematic sequence, you can gain speed by going longer if you can use the length. Personally, I don't have great sequencing with my driver, so I actually don't get any quicker. I've tried going 46, 45 and a half.
Doesn't make any difference for you?
Makes zero difference to me.
Do you find that's the case for most people?
Yeah, a lot. I'd say most, yeah,
Gotcha.
for sure. I mean, there's a reason these manufacturers want you, they want to be able to sell distance, so they go a little bit longer and that sort of thing. But even in their own fitting centres, I bet you would see a lot of people get fit to 45 inches.
Like 90-something% of your fits are at 45 inches?
90-something, yeah. Might be 99.9.
Hopper, 99.9. Hopper, dropper. I figured someone would notice. That is not a hickey. I wish it was. It's actually from acupuncture. It is not from action.
That's a hell of a spot.
It is a hell of a spot. Yes, this is from...
And a super chat $5.
Yeah, you paid $5 so everyone can make fun of me. That's fair. It's from acupuncture.
It's tremendous.
I wish it was from something more
fun. At least I was able to hide my hickey with a collar this week.
Covered in bruises. So embarrassing. All right. Any cheaper...
Is that why the webcam's not here again?
Yeah, I left it at home. It's under my pillow. Any cheaper recommendations, similar EI, meaning profile, to the Diamana BF60X? Assuming that's not a cheap shaft.
I mean, if you follow, with what obviously Mitsubishi do with their blue board profiles, if you go towards Tensei, C6, those sorts of things, you're looking at the same sort of EI curve on that sort of stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's certainly the cheaper route. The C6 specifically is, in Mitsubishi's own words, the most over-engineered shaft they've ever made. So for the price point, you get probably about double the amount of technology and material content and all that sort of stuff.
For your money.
Yeah, I'll grab that.
Yeah, because you just got some in.
That one right there would be...
What's the one?
That's a 60X in the C6. Yeah. Right there.
What is that?
My wire. My mic.
You're still wearing it.
My mic.
Ian's got wires hanging off of him. I've got mysterious bruises. What a week. All right.
The torture chamber is live and
well. All right. From Drake. Thank you, Drake. Okay, so Drake just got the new Graphite Design VR 6X in his Rogue Sub-Zero. Swings it quickly, 115, 165 ball speed, 10 launch, 2800 spin. Wants to get the spin down a bit. What should he do?
I would make sure you've got the weight forward and work on hitting up on it a little bit more.
Okay, so in summary, the shaft tipping is not likely to change his spin profile?
Not that. I mean, I think as a virtue, I would like to see Drake launch it a little more like 11 or 12.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So I think the ball flight would change from being kind of low to high to being high to flat.
Yep.
If you move the ball forward a little bit and hit up on it a fraction more.
And if, with the weights, he just needs to swap them in the head the way that they are?
Yeah, make sure you've got, at least
12 grams
at
or
least
whatever?
definitely you can get 14 now. I've got 14 grams up at the front of mine, and that really helps keep the spin rate down.
Perfect. Yeah, we've seen that makes a massive difference.
Massive difference, eh?
All right. Oh, take Bandit's question about Scotch. Is that what that is?
Yeah. Bandit, it's for me, Lafroig. Lagavulin just tastes like burnt rubber. And that might be sacrilege to...
Whatever, you're Scottish. You can talk about Scotch. If I said something like that, I'd probably be...
I know. I'm a Macallan guy. Bandit, I'm a Macallan guy.
Okay. From AJ.
AJ, what's going on, AJ?
AJ, thank you for that. You've said driver spin question, but where is your driver spin question?
We'll find it.
Let me find your question.
There
Here you are.
go, AJ.
Lovely. Okay. AJ is having problems with too much spin. He's got an M3 with a CK Pro Orange 60 TX, both weights forward. He's hitting up on it 4.5. And still has 2,800 spin. What loft is that driver, I guess, would be the question.
That's a good question.
Yeah. He's got to have too much loft? Has to.
Yeah, too much. So, well, looking at the launch at 14, so delivered loft is probably around the 17, 18 mark. So spin loft around 13, 14. I would say a couple of things. Loft primarily, make sure that's down
a degree at least.
At least a degree. I would go to something like a TP5X.
Golf ball change.
Golf ball, yeah.
Good recommendation.
I think that would help AJ really flatten out that flight.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, if you need to follow up about your driver loft, let us know. We'll be scrolling.
And strike point as well, AJ. Sorry, one last thing. Just be very, very aware of where you're striking in the head.
If it's consistently low, then that's your answer, right?
If you don't have access to launch monitor, go grab some of that kind of Dr. Shaw's foot powder and foot spray it in the face, hit some balls, and make sure you're in the upper half of the head.
Yeah, we saw today that makes a massive difference.
Yeah.
All right, this is still running. The internet seems to have calmed down. God, my neck does look terrible. Look at this thing.
I never noticed it earlier, but
just the way
when you
my
see
shirt
it on
was.
there, it's caused that big light shining on you.
Tell you what, it hurts.
Just hope Lindsay's not watching this.
I wish Lindsay had just bit me and that's all it was. It wouldn't hurt nearly as much. Okay. Asking about CF16 Callaway irons. Is that what we're talking
Callaway
about?
irons, yeah.
Okay, so looking for something more compact, but in the distance category. I know what you're going to say. What do you think?
What do you say?
Apex Pros, the new one, CF 19s.
Apex Pro.
That would be absolutely perfect for you.
It's right
in fact, we just hit them today. They're awesome.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
I wouldn't say AP2 in that category.
No, not as jumpy, I don't think.
Yeah.
Ball speed, I'm saying jumpy, it's not a negative, I mean it in a good way.
In a good way, yeah, because it's not
Jumpy
for that
there.
customer, but if we're looking for someone that is in the distance category.
Yeah, you want some pop, for sure.
Yeah.
That is an easy recommendation. Those irons are awesome.
So see Kenny here. Feel for Kenny here. I'm hurting for you, Kenny.
All right, Kenny.
Kenny can't strike the driver like he did last year, but he wants to go and get fitted. Should he wait or go right away? You want to make sure you're hitting it well before you go and get fitted.
Do you think there's any value? I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Do you think there's any value in Kenny going? And if he hits on GC Quad, for example, he could probably learn something about his golf swing. Maybe he'll find out why he's not hitting his driver well. That could be worth your fitting fee right there.
Yeah, as long as you're going to go to somewhere though that's sort of understanding about what's going on, and I know there's certain companies out there that if you're just not swinging well, they'll just turn you away on the spot. They're not really looking to help you, or
They won't give you the guidance, I guess.
there's companies out there, Matty, and mainstream companies who won't even give you your delivery data.
Is that right?
Yeah, they won't give it to you. Yeah, they keep it off the screen.
Club
on
data.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's a bit of an integrity issue, I would say.
big time.
I mean, it's one thing to turn someone away because you think it's in their best interest to come back another time.
Yeah.
That's
For sure.
okay. Good question, Kenny. Johnny is asking about Mizuno releasing new S wedges.
No,
Sam wedges?
Their
wedges are new?
Yeah, that new S18 is
They're nice.
very new.
They're very nice as well. Let's take this as really an offbeat question. I like it. Brandon's asking about being a very highly educated individual. He's got an MBA. How do you leverage that in the golf industry? I would say
You could certainly be
you can leverage it in any
a
industry.
general manager at a golf facility.
See you, bud. Thanks, pal.
Tomorrow. Okay, pal.
Yeah,
you can be-
your training in an MBA would be suited towards management, obviously.
Management, yeah.
That's not to say you must be
Yeah.
in management, but
I mean, here I'll get on my soapbox a little bit. Why on earth the PGA of whatever region you're in are not giving young professionals the information that the club fitting route might be the best way in order to be successful in the golf industry? Tell me one other part of the golf industry that is on the up and up the way club fitting is.
there isn't one.
Golf club participation's down,
True.
Memberships, lessons, all that sort of stuff, and club fitting just continues to go up and up and up
very
because they're the one section of the industry that continues to provide additional value,
Yes,
in my opinion.
appreciable value.
Absolutely, somewhere where you can go and get better information if you go and get club fit at a legitimate place.
Yep.
No,
I think that's fair.
absolutely.
I think that's very fair.
I don't think there's a single reason why young professionals shouldn't be being offered the route into, this type of thing.
It's way too, and having been through a program 10 years ago myself, it's very brief.
I find it remarkable.
It's very brief. Good question, Brandon.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. Wherever you land, I'm sure you'll be just fine. You got a lot more education than I do, and I'm sure a lot of people. I just saw a question right here from Greg. Greg is asking about the new Mizuno ball that we hit in Orlando that's in my hand. Will we be testing it?
Tour.
Yes, we will.
Do
Did
you
we
know-
did we test it this week? No, but we will get to it, Greg, for sure.
We should do some testing with when we have Chris Vachel from
Oh yeah.
from Mizuno.
Yeah, let
We've-
people know about that. That's interesting.
We've got Chris from Mizuno coming into town to spend a day with us in a couple of weeks' time. So that's going to be a lot of fun, especially.
Probably the best time to do it because he'll be able to give you the behind the scenes of how it was
Absolutely,
made.
he'll give us kind of the inside scoop as to the why Mizuno even got in that game. But what a cool time to have him coming here with us. But after the week they just had at the Honda, 4 sets of irons in the top 5 in the leaderboard.
Is that what it was? That's
2
insane.
drivers in the top 5 of the leaderboard. I mean,
I bet you when have they ever had 2 drivers on the leaderboard?
two drivers in the tournament.
In the tournament, yeah, it's true.
Never mind the leaderboard.
That's very
It's
true.
crazy.
It does show you how good that driver is. Good question, Greg.
Good driver.
We will be getting to it. The ball is interesting. It's definitely interesting. We don't know much about it, so. Okay, I'm just going to catch up a bit because I know we're getting really far behind.
It's good. Lots of comments,
Yeah.
guys. We really appreciate
This is
it.
a great turnout. We apologize for how bad it was in the start when we could barely get a. That's an interesting question, Graham. Are we playing in the Rick Shields YouTube golf tournament? I don't know.
If anyone knew when it was, then
anyone knew when it
you
was
know,
or whether we're going to get invited, then
in all honesty, it's
we have no idea.
in a situation. I mean, we are probably a little different from the other YouTubers in that.
They're over there.
Well, and I don't know if any of them have schedules in the sense of like bookings
It's a
and
bit
different
different,
stuff. So I was saying to Matt yesterday, I'm like, well,
Yeah, you're
if
booked.
it's in May or June, I can't go because I'm fully booked. July is mostly
filling.
booked.
Is it?
Yeah. So we don't really have, in all honesty, with lack of a date, Graham, we have no.
Yeah, Graham, if we don't end up going and we are invited, it will come down to it being a scheduling thing. We would honestly, have no reason not to. It sounds great. Obviously, it'd be nice to play for charity, and nothing negative to say about it. But we need to, be able to go. That's what
we reached out to Rick a while ago, trying to get a date, and I'm sure he's managing some things and trying to get dates from courses and stuff. So we haven't heard yet.
You will hear when we hear. Thank you, Fran. My neck is killing me. Appreciate it. How'd you tell? All right. I'm catching up a bit. G410 crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Is that coming in?
Yeah. It's much improved.
Okay. Dallas dash cam guy.
Much improved.
That is a yes. A yes for you. Let's take this quickly. So, Nick, we haven't tested these in the bay side by side. Ian did, obviously hundreds of fits with the original Epic, I'm sure. What would, if you had to give an answer, what do you think is the difference so far? What do you think they've improved?
Improved.
Okay, what do you think is different?
I mean, what is different? The sound is very different. I much preferred the sound of Epic in 17.
It was much more muted, for sure.
Much more muted, yeah. The carbon content was much more dominant. I would say I like an Epic Flash the fact there's a sliding weight and a front weight.
So it's adjustable?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I think that's nice.
Do you think there's anything performance-wise that it's really picking up so far? Or it's hard to tell?
It's funny, Matty, because I talk to a lot of club fitters, different kind of facilities, different stuff. A lot of people are telling me they love Epic Flash this year, and it's their go-to. It's really fast. It's this and that. I'm not seeing it being the way they see it yet. Yeah, I really haven't. Now it's early days. The season's not even really kicked off yet. There's 2 feet of snow outside.
2-0.
But I've not seen that from it yet.
So you are cautiously optimistic on it. It may be good, but you haven't seen anything insane yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, this is a good question. So in a situation where you're professionally building a club, you have access to someone who's a really good builder like Mikey and Greg who build for you guys.
Yeah.
Are they ever going to use lead tape in a build that goes to a customer, or is there always a way they can get what they need through a different method?
Yeah, they can normally get what they need without lead tape.
Right.
I mean, lead tape is a nice, easy way to be very precise about it, and you can centrally locate the weight. That's the benefit of lead tape. Is you can place that weight if it's behind the CG or of an iron or that sort of thing.
Yep.
That's obviously very important versus putting a tip weight in, or I know some builders still like to use tungsten powder down the shaft and things like that. It's not my preferred route. So, but a lot of our customers, don't want the ugly.
I don't blame people for not liking it at all. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I have lead tape on my irons. I think there's a very arty way of doing it. I think you can hide it really well to the point where it looks actually really sharp.
You think?
I do, yeah. I've seen some people do stuff with lead. Like I've seen people put lead tape on there, take a Stanley knife and shape it into the head, and dude, I've seen some people do some wild stuff with lead tape to the point where you go, that looks way better than it did before. But
it's still not ideal. Let's say, I mean, you want to be fit for something that the actual design of the club gives you what you need. And you shouldn't have to use lead tape if am I going in the right direction?
What was that conversation we had earlier about being a princess?
No, I'm not being a princess. You just spend.
It doesn't look very nice.
You spend $1,500 on a set of irons and you slap a bunch of crap on it
in order to make it perform perfectly.
But then just get a different set of irons that performs the way you want. No?
Could. But then what happens with the next set of irons, and the head weights come in and they're a little bit off and this and that. Well, the one benefit we'll say about the new irons I got, the boys said that the head weights were some of the best they've ever seen.
Consistency or like
head weight, just for consistency and heavy enough. It's always head weights are never light. Never heavy.
They're usually too light?
Usually too light. Okay. So that's why we're always adding weight back in there.
Yep.
So
to answer Joe's question, sometimes lead tape is the only option.
Don't be a princess, Joe.
Don't call me a princess. Just because I called myself a princess earlier. I'm really taking a fucking beating on this live stream today. Your neck.
Fine.
You're a princess. Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to say thanks to Mr. Dallas. Yes, we are going to get the G410 crossover.
We are.
And we will dedicate it to you.
We will.
I don't know when exactly, but we will get it.
I believe all the new stuff's in, all the demos are in. As I said,
Is it?
Just,
Okay.
I spoke to Nick from Ping earlier, so
It's very hard to keep track of all the new stuff. Travis is saying
what's that?
we got a little. Is that what you're pointing at?
Yeah,
A little mention from the Golfaholics guys. We'll have to take a look. Travis, what?
the lefty, is that what they called you?
No, there's one of the two guys.
All right.
I'm blanking on their names, but one of them's a lefty. I'm not going to guess.
What do those boys do?
They make golf vlogs,
Right.
but I think most people would agree they do probably the best production job of anyone out there. They're very nicely shot. They use drones and they do a good job. I think they're also just likable guys.
Are they?
Two good players. They play nice courses all over California and stuff. Yeah, they've got a good little. If that's something you're into, I think
Sure.
they're considered, from what I understand, to be the best golf vlog channel.
Are they really?
And
must
from
check out.
from like a production standpoint, I mean, some people might say they like other people better just for personalities.
Yeah.
But
everyone's like that, isn't it?
everyone's
Everyone's
it's who you
got their
like.
preferences for.
But
who
no,
they
they've
like
got
and-
a serious following. So we'll find out what that was. We'll find out what that was there, Travis. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay. From David. Thank you, David. New set in the second-hand market with correct shafts, but they're at the wrong length. Okay. So what would be a downside for David to throwing a 1-inch extension in a set of clubs that's not at his spec? It's a good question. An inch sounds like a lot.
Yeah, so it's quite a lot. What would the downside be? I mean, just balance.
Okay.
And,
Will it make the shaft play? Oh, I'm gonna guess wrong. Will it change how the shaft, the stiffness of the shaft, because you're adding? I don't know. Does that matter?
Anytime you lengthen.
Makes it softer?
No, well, I say anytime. Most of the time when you lengthen, you soften.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
because
It's the first time I've guessed something right in about a month.
So because the head weight is further away from you, and
okay.
the weight becomes more effective at that point.
Okay. So for David, if he's okay with the shafts playing a bit softer, this isn't a terrible option for him? Is
Yeah,
that
I mean,
what you'd say?
we've done it. We actually had a set. A customer just requested extensions from us last week. The boys done them, and it's not our preferred way to do it. But David,
Yeah.
if you've got a set for a steel, and you can keep your eye out maybe for a set of uncut pulled shafts at some point, and keep an eye in the second-hand market, and you can put those in instead. We'd always rather you used
original component.
a one-piece sort of golf shaft. But if it's too good of a deal to turn down, just make sure you take them to a qualified quality builder to balance them out. That's all I would say.
I think that's a good point. Okay.
I'm surprised you're not getting. I'm waiting for more abuse in the neck.
Oh,
here.
it's coming.
Are we too?
Yeah, we're way too far back.
Are we? Can't wait for it.
It's funny. So my chiropractor, I leave,
Yeah.
and I'm walking out, and she's like, "Oh, just so you know, you've got a bit of a bruise there from the acupuncture." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure it's fine." Like, there's no mirror, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure it's fine." And then I get home, I look in the mirror, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Well, you use that face foundation stuff. You could have just put something.
You mean makeup? You use makeup, Ian says. Put it on your neck.
A little makeup in your neck. Be fine. With the wee brush and stuff.
I'm powering this down. What a day.
Too good.
Garrett.
Thoughts on indoor wedge fittings on mats? I can't find an indoor fitter who I know who knows the importance of it. Yeah, I mean, it is extremely important that if you do it indoors, you do it with a monitor that accurately picks up launch and spin, obviously.
Yep. First and foremost.
Yep, has the ability to detect loss of ball speed because all those things lead to contact and if they call it how you're striking them. You got to have options, whether it's bounce, sole, grind, different kind of sole width, camber, radius, all that sort of stuff. You've got to have options. Like we've got a full drawer of different wedges down there where. If somebody's digging a little bit and losing ball speed and not quite getting the right turf interaction, we can change that up. We've got a loft and lie machine that we can subtly adjust loft and lie machines. So Yeah, I wouldn't do it. In all honesty, I wouldn't even offer it unless we had all those tools.
Like and it's a good question. You have done more than, let's be honest, 99% of fitting places have done to actually do indoor wedge fitting properly.
Absolutely.
So Garrett is right in being skeptical.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna you gotta ask the question.
Absolutely.
Do you guys have basically the infrastructure? Do you have the right type of turf? Do you have the right
golf balls? Do you have different golf balls that you can help people? If you're getting awfully close, to the right launch and spin numbers, can you kind of give a ball recommendation that's really the icing on the cake?
So important.
It's the cherry on top.
So Garrett, ask a ton of questions, but it is possible. You just have to find the right spot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get way ahead because I know you want to see me get made fun of.
There's a few more super. I think there's a few.
Yeah. So Josh is asking. So the lefty adapter on the G410 line. Mm-hmm. Will it cause it to be more upright in a righty? Okay, so if you're using a left-handed adapter and a right-handed head, or vice versa, I think Josh is asking, does it reverse the settings?
Flip it that way?
Yeah.
Haven't heard from Ping.
Okay, so we need to find that out. Josh, we're not 100% sure on that.
Yeah. And actually, do you know what? I actually don't know if Ping were. I think I was in a conversation where this was being asked, and they had. I don't think they had even really measured their own sleeves reversed.
Okay. In theory, most of them do that.
Most of them,
but we don't know about
this
specific head.
So it's all angling, right?
Yeah.
So it's all tilting and angling of the sleeve. So that's why they work reverse. Where it tilts the head to be upright. If you flip it around, it's going to tilt it to be down.
Gotcha. So in theory, Josh, we just don't want to say yes definitively to you in case that isn't 100% the case.
Mm-hmm. David's fighting your corner there.
Yes. Galvin Green over here does have a deal with Galvin Green. Why not for me? Because we don't want to match. No, that's not true. Might eventually wear a little Galvin. Yeah. We'll see. We will see. They're very nice people. Very nice clothes. Okay. Pete is asking. It's a good question, Pete. What is the most... Well, I know the answer. Yeah. What is the most forgiving driver head from the past 2 years, Pete? It is the G400 Max. I don't think anything's even close. Standard Rogue is pretty stable, but it's not as stable as G400 Max. Yeah. Pete, what you want is a G400 Max. If you really want a G410, the Plus is pretty stable as well. It's probably close, right?
Very close.
All right. And I don't know. What do you think that means from Joe?
I know exactly what it means. It means you're in an IHOP.
What? Oh, keto. That's pretty funny, Joe.
You and Tiger are...
That is funny.
Tag teaming in the IHOP.
Or Denny's, Joe. Or Denny's.
Yeah, any waffle establishment.
Anywhere they serve breakfast at night. Okay, Joe Lane. Apex 19 Ford, so the standard model. Wait, yeah. Standard model, not the Pro, right?
Yeah.
Equally forgiving to P790 or i500.
More spin, Apex 19, less hot and short game.
So how comparable are those?
Yeah. I would say out of those irons, I would say it's probably the most forgiving.
You think so?
Yeah,
okay.
because it's the only one that has genuine perimeter weighting.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
More spin, sure. If you move it to, it's very easy to move. It's a lot easier to move than the other two.
Yeah, because it's fours, right?
A lot easier. And the other two are considered, fours, but they're.
But you're saying they're, in your experience, easier to bend?
Easier. Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
For sure.
Okay, Joe. Hopefully that answers your question.
Definitely.
From Todd. Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
So Todd is going in for a hybrid fairway fitting later today. Okay, this is timely.
Nice.
He's recently been fit into I-210 irons, I-95 Acura, constant weight, regular, a bit long, a bit flat. Swings a 6 iron, 82 miles an hour.
Try.
So what kind of a hybrid and fairway should Todd shortlist? Because he should be open-minded, of course.
Without knowing the demo matrix of the place, that's a
well.
toughie.
Give him the ones that are more than likely to be at a fitting center.
You could try something like an Acura 260 M3, an FX 2.0 260 M3.
You're talking about the shaft?
Yep.
What heads?
Oh, what heads?
No, that's good too. The shaft recommendation is good as well.
What to try?
So I-210s are considered a player's forgiving iron.
These
what
questions are awesome. They're so wide. I mean, you could go
But you're
across
good at
the
this.
board.
You're good at this.
I know. Well,
What's your short list? Come on. You know what you're doing.
I do, but I don't know what they carry. So like, I could say a Ping or a Callaway.
Okay, but most places carry those. So give me 3.
I would say on the fairway wood front, so far best I've seen yet this year is from Epic Flash. G410 launches it very, very high.
And Todd might like that because he plays his irons flat.
Plays it a little bit flat.
So
82 miles an hour with the 6 iron, so 82. 88 miles an hour, 88, 90 with the 3 wood, so we're going to struggle a little bit to get it up in the air. I would say try TS2 16 and a half
in the fairway.
In the fairway wood, because that has adjustability, you can move it up and down.
G410 hybrid, do you think?
Yeah, I think I said that one. Yeah, G410.
Sorry, you did?
Yeah, and M6 definitely would be worth a try as well.
I haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah,
Is it
nice.
good? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice.
All right, Todd. Those are your short list. Let us know how your fitting goes. I'm glad that you caught us before you went in. All right. From Alex. Thank you, Alex.
Okay, Alex.
Very nice of you. So Alex is using an LST 8.5. He's launching it very high.
Very high. 15 to 20.
Even flow T1100 white. That's a very stiff-ish profile kind of shaft, or no? Even flow white.
So stiff, 65 grams stiff, counterbalanced. Got for Diamana W50X, swing speed 95 to 100, Tennessee white or orange.
So I think it sounds like Alex is looking to drop the
launch primarily. I don't see anything without overloading and spin.
So he wants a little more speed maybe. So is Tennessee white counterbalanced or just the orange?
Tennessee orange is the only counterbalance one in their line.
Would that be
Tennessee
something
white
that
is not.
might be worth him trying to see how the balance of that maybe helps him get a little more pop out of it?
95 to 100. Let's see. For potential swing speed increase without overload and spin. I mean that's the wheelhouse of a Tennessee Pro, Tennessee Orange Pro, isn't it?
Yeah.
That higher balance point with being very, very stiff. Same with this guy. Same idea with the Fuji Pro. Same sort of thing. Like a 6 stiff.
Yep.
In that one, higher balance point. We've seen some big increases in distance with this guy this year.
Is that right?
Really good. They've done a few fits with Tennessee Pro 2.0.
I think that's probably the one I've hit the best too.
I think it is.
Year.
Yeah, I mean your strike location just narrows right down when you hit this thing. So
it's a good option, and the Pro Orange in 50S could be decent for Alex as well.
Yeah, I mean I would say that might be a bit of a rare one to find, Alex.
Tougher to find a demo. Yeah.
Graphite Design do their MAD, their MAD Pro. Comes in a 59 gram stiff at the same thing. That's a good high balance point, slightly stiffer version.
Okay, that's several good options for you, Alex. Thank you. All right.
Hold the fort for 2 seconds.
Yeah. All right. I am going to answer a few questions myself. Watch out, folks. All right, from Sean. This is a good question. So when we do the ultimate driver comparison, are we going to use the best shaft for each? Yeah. So the plan is slowly been fitting each driver with Ian for me, and he's kept a little memory bank of what the best shaft is. So yes, that is definitely the plan. Kind of the optimized version of each driver is what we use for that. So it might still be a while for that video because we got a bunch more clubs to test. We got to at least do TaylorMade and PXG. So it is coming though. Good question. I have no idea who that is, but I will take your word for it. I'll Google that later. Hopefully it's complimentary. Been taking enough abuse today. Okay. Oh, wow. We are way behind. Okay, so AJ, you are playing a pretty low lofted. So AJ, you were asking about an M3, I believe. So you got your loft down pretty low. You probably would want to look at your strike location, AJ, to see if you're tending to be lower in the head. That would be kicking your spin up, because you do have, you have a pretty low spin profile setup, I should say, with your driver and not a lot of loft. It would be worth you trying an 8.5 degree head and turning it down a bit, but you don't have a lot of loft there, so it sounds like maybe your strike point was dipping a bit on the low side. Just following up with AJ there.
Nice.
Do you know who this person is? Harry Kane of Tottenham?
Mm-hmm.
Who is that?
He's England's #1 striker. Do
Oh,
you
good.
look like Harry Kane?
I don't know. I was just praying it wasn't some...
I can see it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I can see it.
All I said was I hope it's not some hideous person that... All right. Oh, from Derek Fraser. Is it your cousin?
Uncle Derek.
Okay. Thank you, Derek. What makes you choose to fit someone into a counterbalance shaft with extra head weight versus a lower balance point shaft? Good question.
Yeah, great question.
Interesting question.
So it's all about matching up speeds,
Okay.
right? So for me, when I'm looking to help a player match up the club face to the path to produce the most energy in the right face to path alignment, sometimes balance point can be something you can use. Like in your case, it was because we were getting the club a little trapped behind us,
Yeah.
and we were able to square it up a little bit easier with a higher balance point.
So timing, club face control,
Yeah.
all those kind of things.
All those sorts of things.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's something that I will admit I literally had no idea that even existed until I knew about like counterbalance, like tour lock weights,
Sure,
but I
yeah.
didn't realize that shaft companies actually varied the balancing. So it's a pretty interesting thing.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
can make
you
a
look
big
at
difference.
something like Tennessee Orange. They put tungsten powder into the pre-preg in the butt end of their shaft, so they actually will add material.
that's why it's heavier.
Another material, so they will bring the balance point up by doing something like that. Other companies will just use a more dense carbon fiber, so they use a heavier weave
To achieve the same thing?
To achieve the same thing, so they'll use a more dense graphite in the butt section to raise balance point.
So for Derek, I'm assuming it's a functional question. He would go to a fit, and his curiosity about a counterbalance shaft, you basically just say it's worth trying. Like, it's worth seeing what effect it has in your golf swing.
Yep.
It may help you. It may actually just be the totally wrong fit for you.
Absolutely. There's never a, if you are this guy,
Yeah.
you need a counterbalance shaft. It might be something worth trying.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I can't play.
Yeah, it's not for you.
I
Not for
tried
you?
when I was a Tennessee White player for a long time. Mitsubishi sent me Tennessee Orange. Hated it.
Yeah, it wasn't for you.
No.
And it's funny, like I tried Tennessee Orange last year. I couldn't hit a ball within 100 yards of the fairway, and then we've hit it a bunch this year, and it's been fine as my swing has changed. So it either suits you or it doesn't, kind of thing. Okay.
Right.
From Brandon.
Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Swing question. Okay, very good. So working with Larry, reducing the hinge. Yep. That is probably the main change that I made. What improvements have I seen with my game? Very good question. Consistency, club face control, like delivery. So used to like sometimes deliver the club 3 degrees shut, sometimes 4 degrees open, and just huge variances, I think, with the way I was delivering it. Had a hard time, I guess, flushing the ball consistently. I would sometimes hit it fat, thin. It adds a lot of consistency to impact. Brandon would be my input. It makes you less susceptible to kind of getting flinchy, I find. Like, remember I was saying today, because I was hitting it terrible, it almost reminded me of like when I used to swing, I would almost feel kind of like sometimes I get flinchy at the ball because I didn't really know what the face was doing. That lessening of the hinge, I feel like it's really just stabilized the club face for me. That would be my input. What do you think?
Most things in the modern golf swing are to reduce the rotation or the required rotation of the club face through impact. So
Okay.
You're trying to use your bigger muscles and your swing sequencing in order to square the club up. That's why so many people are so big on wrist flex nowadays.
And then just turning and delivering it flat.
They want the wrist inflection so that as you turn, that sets the club face nice and square. So when Larry talks about down hinging, it's to try and get the club into that position. The old Leadbetter sort of pull and cup is ruined more golf swings than just about anything.
It's for sure.
else.
Yeah, I think a lot of people took that. Unfortunately, it causes a lot of issues with the face.
Definitely. I mean, I was a
Everyone went through that.
victim of that for a long time. Being told to kind of pull the chain and all that sort of nonsense, getting more cuppy at the top. Horrendous advice.
Yeah.
It really is.
Good question, Brandon. Hopefully that answers that for you, pal. But always check in with Larry's channel if you ever want the more detailed analysis of that. Mikey. Mikey, you probably sent this 8 minutes ago, but hello.
Hello, folks. In true Michael
Hello, folks.
Martusevich fashion.
What's your stock greeting? Hello, folks.
Hello, folks.
What is this? Jason? Did your girlfriend hack your account? That's hilarious.
That is so funny. We don't
That's funny,
know the
Jason.
answer to that question.
We don't know either. We're glad that you like watching. He's not obsessed. He just has good taste. That's all.
That's right.
Jason has good taste.
Join the revolution.
We're gonna wave to Bradley as well.
Bradley Lawrence.
Bradley,
How are you,
hello.
amigo?
How are you? Great to hear from you.
And don't forget about young Mikey
That's right.
speaking at the Ontario.
So Bradley was commenting on us talking about PGA training. So Mikey is when is that conference?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Mikey's gonna make
Bradley, when is that? Let us know when that is.
But yeah, Mikey's going to be talking. He'll be making headway into the community to get some more awareness to club fitting, which is fantastic.
It's good. It is good.
We are really like 45 minutes behind. We're going to catch up here, guys. If we've missed your question, we apologize, but we're answering questions that we talked about 45 minutes ago. Okay. Matthew, thank you for that. You are playing 2009 R9 TP irons. Okay. Might be due for an upgrade. What should Matthew try?
Well, it's interesting. The P790 is P760 is basically a modern day R9
Oh yeah. Okay.
TP. The sole width's a little bit narrower, but same idea with the progression. That's why when TXG were trying to sue TaylorMade for that technology. There was foam inside the R9 TP long irons.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, the 3 and the 4 arm were encased with a vibration dampening foam.
That actually makes a lot of sense as to why they lost that lawsuit.
So some
So
good
P760,
irons.
if he wants to stay in
P760
TaylorMade?
would be the natural one for sure. What else is good out there?
Apex Forge Pro by any chance?
That would be really good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Matthew, you'd love those, I think.
Really nice. Those two would be top of my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
sure.
but make sure you get fit.
Yes.
And appreciate your support, as always. From Harold.
Ooh, a nice little putting question.
Harold, this is good. Oh, sorry. Harold is from Vienna. Nice.
Nice, Harold. Late night for
Thanks
you.
for tuning in. Yeah, it's late over there. Okay, so Harold has a strong arc in his putting stroke. Not uncommon. This is a great question. So, should Harold be using a face bounce putter, or should he be using a toe hang putter with his strong arc stroke? Fantastic question.
It's a fantastic question, and the answer is it really depends on the rate of rotation of your putter. So you can have a strong arc, Matty, and most people with a strong arc will be given some form of toe hang, right?
That's the traditional wisdom.
That's the traditional wisdom.
Okay.
Now, if you have a strong arc and you have something with too much toe hang, i.e. the toe of the putter hangs sort of down. Let's see, where are we?
Basically like down.
Down like that.
Okay.
Right, so it hangs at an angle. So there's face balanced. There's toe hang.
Yep.
Face balanced toe hang. Right. So if you have too much toe hang, you'll never be able to catch up. Right. So,
So toe hang is trying to do what? It's trying to
toe hang is trying to control the rate of
is
rotation.
it trying to slow down the rate of rotation?
It does.
Okay.
It absolutely does. So people think it increases it, and
It doesn't.
they're liking it to a swinging door. It doesn't. That is the characterization of that stroke, that the putter in a strong arc opens like a swinging door.
Which it might not.
But we want to match that up to the appropriate amount of the appropriate face angle, and that might require a face balance putter in some people's cases. So if you miss if you're a right-handed player and you've got a strong arc, but you don't, the face never catches up, and you leave it open all the time. Sure, you want something more face balanced.
Because it will help them square it up?
Because it will stop it getting as open in the first place. So it will keep it more square, and then that will match up with the release pattern of
This is
Harold,
pretty interesting stuff.
if that's the case.
So for Harold, if he
Yeah.
pushes all his putts,
Yep.
face balanced. If he pulls a lot of putts,
Correct.
toe hang.
And if he's somewhere in between, something in between.
Yeah, that's great. Harold, that's a really good question. Really, really good. Something that's very misunderstood, I think. Even honestly, just you going through it, it reminded me about that. Yeah, we need to do more putting. It'll be a lot easier on my neck, too. How about a putting month while I recuperate? All right. Oh, yeah, I was catching up.
It's there.
This one here?
No, just the one below that. Is club champion reputable, or should I stay away? Need to know, guys, before it's too late. Trust you all, but can't make the trip north yet. Club champion are absolutely reputable. I mean, like anything, it's a more about, in my opinion, about the fitter and having a
The
good
individual
fitter.
person.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that's what it comes down to. You can have the best company in the world and a bad employee, and you would have a horrible experience. You can have a less reputable company and a great employee, and you can have an unbelievable experience. You're not there being fit by a company. You're being there being fit by a person. Do they have all the heads, shafts, technology? Of course they do. They've got as much as anyone. They use Trackman, which is the one thing that we, obviously differ on.
Yep.
But they have all the heads and shafts that we carry. So as
It's
long
certainly a good spot, well-equipped place to go.
very, very well equipped. They're, the kind of, I think there's more of those guys more stores from Club Champion than anywhere.
Yeah, very accessible way to get fitted. Golf Hawks guys tuned in. Boys, I'm sure we missed you by half an hour, so I apologize.
Sorry, boys.
But thank you for saying hello. Yeah, we should, absolutely. Absolutely.
We would love to.
We would love to. If we can make it happen, we would be more than happy to.
That's my favourite. Joe, this is why you're just my favourite on our channel. # Princess Matty.
I'm the one who
good.
I'm the one who brings it up. Like, I'll call myself a princess.
I know.
So.
I know. Yeah, you're a princess. Yeah. That's amazing. Joe,
I'm fine with that.
You're my favourite. Princess. Matthew's in on you.
It's all right. All right.
So
okay. So Golf Hawks. So it's Mike and Marco. Marco's
Awesome.
the lefty.
Right, okay.
Yep. Have a nice little 4-ball. 2 righties, 2 lefties.
That would be fun.
I believe Mike is a teaching pro. I could be wrong.
Right, okay.
But yeah, Marco's the lefty. He's got a nice little swing.
Boys, we would love to do that.
We'd love
that
to.
It'd be a blast. You're welcome to Toronto in the summertime once it's a lot warmer, and we would love to come visit you guys. I think the boys are on the West Coast.
They are in California somewhere. Yeah. So if you we should do either
Well,
or.
home and home.
Little home and home. Come here and get fit.
If it ends up a draw, we'll settle it at the bar.
I settle the bar. Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yep, we are 100% down for that. Sounds good. All right. Oh my goodness. You just cut up to Bandit's whiskey question?
No way, enough.
I guess so, yeah.
Holy moly.
This is a good idea too. Me drunk on scotch hitting balls. Yeah.
Can you imagine that speed drunk?
Okay, fine. More or less speed drunk. What do you think?
Or less. Gotta taste. Or do I think you'd have more or less?
I know I should swing less to not hurt myself, but
I don't know.
it can't make you swing faster.
Should try it.
I cannot believe that you got this going.
So good, Joe. Keep
Is
it
it?
going. Let it build. Let it really kind of
it fester?
turn into something. This has got some real legs.
Really does. Really does. What a week. All right.
Oh,
Mikey's answering a couple questions about build. That's great.
Do something, Michael.
Mikey, making yourself
Was this a day off or something?
What is it? You guys are closed on Mondays? All right.
So good.
I can't even, I can't scroll any faster.
Michael was going to, he was going to be here for this tonight.
Was he?
Yeah, he was, a little Lido.
All right. Golf Hogs, I think you guys are still on. And I apologize if we're 30 minutes behind.
I know.
I still have my Strix on 765s.
765s, yep.
Now, when I say that I'm gaming them, we don't play golf this time of year because it's the worst, but I did play with them in Florida.
Yeah, you've had them for a while.
Yeah.
You've liked them, haven't you? They were...
There's no complaints. They're really good. Will I change this year? Probably. But not because the irons aren't good, just because...
Give the guys a quick, what are you thinking? What's caught your eye?
Stuff has caught my eye, but I think I'm, for many reasons, want to go into it completely. I'm curious what you would recommend.
Agnostic.
Yeah, because I think you have some thoughts about it. So I'd be more curious to do it without really giving it too many restrictions ahead of time. I know you don't. I'm not going to tell you what to fit me to, but I'm saying I would love to just see what you would.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing,
recommend.
Matty, you've got exceptional speed. You're obviously a great ball striker, but. And I know this is a work in progress. The strike can stray around a little bit, especially toe side.
Oh, now you're being nice. Dude, I hit the ball all over the face.
No, you don't.
Sure I do.
But I would say...
I need a bit of forgiveness, for sure.
A little bit of forgiveness. That's why I think the Strixon, obviously, with if you think of that cavity design with the weight out in the toe section, tungsten in the toe.
Absolutely.
That's helpful stuff. So
it could be a situation where 785 just ends up being perfect
could
for me.
be really good for you. I would love to see you try an MP18 split cavity. I think that could be really good for you.
Yeah. And they're awesome.
Gorgeous.
Looking and
gorgeous.
feeling. Yeah. I don't need new irons, but
You do.
Okay, I need new irons.
You need new irons. Mura, lefty.
Yeah, Mura just came out with new
801s.
lefties. If you get a set, that should be part of the
I'll get
fit
you a set of those.
on his tab for all the absolute
the BS
character
left today.
assassination that's occurred today. Chris, thank you very much.
Thanks, pal.
That's very
Appreciate
nice
it.
of you. We very much appreciate your support and everyone else's. This is awesome. Thank you very much. All right.
Let's skip forward. I feel bad that
Oh my
we're...
God.
What fair play.
Fran's throwing Perkins into Tiger's rotation. Poor guy. Okay.
Wow.
Here we go. It's so funny. We should catch up and chat with these.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's head.
Oh, we're missing so many of these. I don't want to miss these. I really don't. Okay, let's catch these really quick because I feel bad.
Okay.
It feels wrong to skip these. From Dennis.
Okay, Dennis. Recommendations on 3-wood shafts to try. TP. I would avoid TPT right now in fairway woods because they're very light. There's new stuff coming though. Check that out.
Okay. He plays a Ryzen in his 2-iron.
2-iron, nice. Have a quick tempo, but hate a boardy feel of. Interesting. The boardy feel of whiteboard. Boardy. Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah, you feel whiteboard's boardy. See, that's funny.
I haven't tried it in a long time, but I used to
for me,
think
it's
that.
butt soft, and I actually like the feel of it. But it depends. And
What do you know anyway?
I also think it depends how much headweight you've got in there. I
it
really
does.
think
Yes.
that makes a big difference.
If he likes the Ryzen in his 2-iron, that's a good 3-wood shaft, no?
Yeah, great.
To try. I'm not saying it's
Ryzen, I'm
guaranteed.
assuming that's the 8404 that is in the 2-iron.
What about an acro shaft for Dennis to try? What do you like in a 3-wood?
3-wood shafts to try. My favourite fairway shaft of all time is up there. That Tours the Extreme.
Tours the Extreme, and it's based on the weight. Which one you try? Is it 4?
So it'd be a 2 on that speed. What's going on there speed wise?
It's about 98 miles an hour.
Okay, so probably like a 265 or 275 M4.
Gotcha.
Depending on your preference for weight, Dennis. But
Those are a couple of really good ones, Dennis.
Dennis,
to try.
honestly, try and get hold of those. They are unbelievable.
And thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Bandit's asking if we're having a party. No, but it is a full house.
Bandit, there wouldn't be a party. You'd be invited if
You'd
there
be
was
invited.
a party, Bandit.
There's lessons going on in here. That's why the Wi-Fi failed.
For sure.
Okay. Robert, thank you. Can I pull your question up, Robert? Okay. Hot Metal or Hot Metal Pro forged in a mix set. Interesting. Are there some rules for when you blend a set into the other? Rules that drive you into one set or another? Okay. Good question.
I mean, you can certainly blend Hot Metal Pro with with forged, no question, obviously because of the offset. I think, I mean, there'll be some people who go hot metal and hot metal pro with short irons. Same material, same head shape, just less offset basically.
Yeah, so the shorter irons with the pro would be nice, less offset, maybe flight the ball a little lower or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Would be a great blended set.
Are there some rules? Really, just making sure, Robert, that it has matching characteristics as they blend. So, if you are someone who hits a little bit of a fade with the long irons, but hit your short irons pretty straight, go to something with some offset on the longs and less in the shorts. It's all about, catering to your own game. You've got to be brutally honest and analyse your game and your tendencies and go from there.
What suits you better.
Definitely.
If you need a little offset, then I would say that would be the main factor. Okay. From Matt. Changing his driver to the F9. Good driver. Matt annihilates the ball. Mid 180s. Oh my goodness.
Could I do better?
I don't know. Do better at what? Okay, so 1600 spin is a little bit low, to be fair.
It's a little low, yeah. You could definitely add some spin. So I would put 18 grams at the back, 2 or 4 at the front. Stabilize that head a little bit. I've seen that work well recently. In fact, really well recently.
Makes a big difference in the spin. So Matt obviously destroys the ball, but 1600 is too low for anyone.
Yeah.
He should want
any offset face angle. You're
and he's not lacking for distance, so he should get a little stability and help his accuracy. That's great. All right, from Damien. Mikey says March 19th for his conference. That's coming up soon, Mikey.
March 19th. Oh, jeez, that is soon.
Damien, let me find your question. Thank you for that. Yeah. Mikey, I'm going to come and live stream your entire
I know, we're going to come down and support him.
Okay, so Damien is saying, if I can pull this up, my thumb works. Click. Okay. Damien has a Callaway Rogue driver, swings at 105, 12 launch, 2500 spin.
Nice.
Is that optimized? Now, sorry, quick caveat. Straight. He's saying he's hooking it too often. So start one at a time. His numbers here are good numbers.
They're decent. Yeah.
What would you improve? More launch, less spin?
Yeah.
If you were being picky?
Yeah, for sure.
So let's say if he tweaked that, that's one thing. But in terms of him having a bit of an issue with hooking it, he's asking if more weight would be helpful. He's got a Tour AD TP7X, playing it a little short.
I think that's a shaft that's too heavy for you for sure.
So that would not, if he's hooking it, that's not helping.
Not helping.
What would you recommend?
I would recommend a serious amount of practice focusing on striking it in the heel.
Okay, so you think he's a little bit too toe-side with the strike?
I do.
Okay.
But everything there gears towards that for me.
Okay. So not necessarily, Damien, go out and buy new stuff, but look at your strike point and move it a little bit more towards the heel.
Let's take Willie's question.
Okay, Willie went for a fitting, which is great.
That's awesome, Willie. Good man.
TS3 was the winner.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
great.
Great.
You shouldn't. I know people are still shocked when a Titleist driver beats others, but it really is a great driver.
It is.
It's excellent.
We got a lot of good feedback on that recent video we did.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that it was helpful
for
you, Willie.
I'm glad you hit that one and it done well for you.
We made the video because to be honest with you, felt guilty that we just hadn't tested it fairly. That's why we redid it. So good to see it was helpful.
Good man, Willie.
All right. Matthew, I was talking to Matthew on the new Patreon live chat. Matthew, not necessary, but thank you. Sent him a little picture of a couple irons.
You've never turned down a pint, have you?
Why would you? Only a rude person would. Or Larry. He's not rude, but he does turn down pints.
He does turn down pints.
All right. Missing with a push to the right with the driver. Okay.
Launch angle 14.
Yep. Face is getting quite a bit open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Into out, face open.
Cobra F9.
Smoke shaft, help.
Face angle issue.
Face angle.
Remember where we are. I'm gonna scroll while you answer this. Oh, the boys.
Let's see. I mean, it primarily sounds like the obviously with the face angle hanging open, the first things I'd look at in the Cobra Drive would be the setting, making sure you've got it in some kind of a draw setting. The weight being back a little bit helps the head rotate a fraction more. I'd be very observant about your strike point, making sure that you're not hitting it heel side. A lot of time the gearing of the heel strike will kind of make the curvature worse
Cause
than
it to push.
Be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Always that.
Okay. Now, I guess his launch is a little high, but I was going to ask if you would recommend closing the face a bit on the adjustable nozzle.
Because we always know that launch angle is artificial when the face is open.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So if it's square, it may actually come down.
When that squares up, you're going to have a much more realistic.
So a little more closed with the face might actually help. Okay.
So the boys are down to come to Toronto.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull that up. So Mike and Marco are down. Listen, officially inviting you.
Yeah.
Come to Toronto. Absolutely.
Boys, we'll drop you a little note tonight. We'll drop you a little.
Yeah, why don't we we'll DM you on Instagram, guys? Why don't we let's actively set something up? It would be awesome. I'd love to have you guys in.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. It'd be cool.
You guys should come in for a full bag fitting.
I was going to say we can take the boys up to Magna, out to do the kind of real treat.
I was going to say play some golf.
Yeah.
Look at their clubs, all that kind of fun stuff.
We'll go out and we'll play. Some of the National Golf Club of Canada is one of the top.
You must go there.
Top 100. I think it's the only one in the top 100 in the world right now.
No, Cabot. Links is.
Of course, yeah.
We can't take you to Cabot because it's 8,000 miles away. But yeah, no. Well, the Greater Toronto area has extremely good courses. So.
It really does, boys. It's very, very underrated. There's some really good ones. So
yeah, plan a little trip summer. You should come in the summer.
Yeah, we'll figure this one out.
We'll send you a DM on Instagram tonight. Appreciate you guys reaching out. It's awesome. Okay.
You got water?
I've got another one. I'm burning through it. I'm going to answer this question while you're away. Just kidding, but I will wait for you. Okay. This is an interesting question. So, Ian, someone that is making face contact low on their driver, it's leading to excess spin, distance loss because he's swinging quite quickly, obviously.
Yeah.
He's got high dynamic loft, and he's making contact low in the face. So, we've seen how much shafts can influence strike point. Where do you go with this? I know it's tough without seeing the person, but where do you go with this?
I would want that person to... Oh, wow, swing speed's fast as well. It sounds like there's excessive dynamic loss. So we need to keep that shaft leaning forward more. So talking about getting in a little bit more flexion in the downswing, rotation from there will help lean that shaft forward, move the strike up the head.
Okay, that's the swing answer.
Ball speed will go way up.
If there was a shaft, let's just play devil's advocate, that would give him some assistance, what would you... I know when I was hitting that new Rajan Black, I'm just using it as an example, that took my strike point up like 15 millimeters.
Right.
Is it a very tip-stiff profile that will help in that?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, the more sort of in deflection the head moves, the more upward the sweet spot will move.
Okay.
Or less downward, so
that could help.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Different things, though. I mean, I've had some really interesting conversations with some engineers, some shaft engineers, some club head engineers about this type of thing, and it's interesting how different dynamic situations with golf clubs lead to a reaction to the player actually moving the golf club differently. So I've talked to some guys about shafts, about why doesn't it exactly move the way we think we do. It does when we go to a tips off shaft. So what they have found working with things like gears and Enzo and stuff like that, players will generally lean the shaft further forward in order to counter the tip
so they're almost adjusting to that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to put whiskers up.
That's just too good. That is too good. So, planning to come to Toronto at some point, is there any fitters you'd recommend that you can get a full bag fit ball, a hickey, an iron brew? And
you know what?
A McDonald's. That's a weekend at Matt Bloy's house.
Whisker, yeah, exactly. I know. Full bag fittings every weekend. Non-stop hickeys.
Never tried an iron brew, though.
You are a beauty. Yeah, I need to try one. Thank you, Whisker, for that. Thanks for summarizing just everything that occurs here at TXG, just in a nutshell.
Too good.
Let's take this from Joe. Joe
Okay.
seems to have an interesting question, I think. Exchange rate. So if you order clubs from TXG, which
Yes.
people do,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, how do you do that?
Well, your obviously your credit card company will do the exchange.
Okay, so you're being charged in Canadian dollars.
You'll be charging Canadian dollars,
Yep.
and you'll basically get the benefit of buying in Canadian dollars.
Gotcha. So Joe, prices here, as you know, are higher because of our dollars. So
Yep.
in some cases, it may be good.
Oh no! I mean, almost every one of our US customers
says
saves
it's good?
a significant amount of money.
Okay, so it's good, Joe.
It's a good thing.
The
Joe.
Canadian dollar is garbage, so
Definitely.
take advantage because you might as well. In fact, with every time you purchase from Canada, from the US, you help the dollar, and in turn make the discount worse. And that is economics from a person who doesn't know what he's talking about. All right, from John. My goodness.
Wow, John.
Speaking of Canadian dollars, that is extremely
That's
generous.
extremely
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, John.
That is very, 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 very generous of you. Okay,
That's a great question, actually.
this is a great question. Swing weight versus static weight. So do people respond better to swing weight or static weight changes? That and he's relating it to face contact. But
Yeah.
give me your thoughts on that.
For sure, so that's a really good question. John, one of the biggest things that as a fitter you have to establish with the fitters how they feel the weight. So there'll be often times when I'm trying some with a lighter shaft, and I know the answer to the question is going to probably be that they think the club just got heavier. But it's all the perception that they feel it more in the head, and I'll always have to go, okay, so do you feel the head or the shaft? Yeah, I feel the head weight more. Yeah, that's actually, the club isn't heavier, it's just I feel the head more.
Yeah.
So you have to really establish, where that weight is. So static weight is normally the one for me that controls plane and tempo the best. I feel like swing weight, because it's concentrated on the head, is very good for strike point.
Strike point,
That's
which is
very-
what I think John was getting into with this question.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I think as long as you know where the mass is travelling, you're always more likely to put your best move on it.
Yeah.
I see that with people with speed all the time, John. If they don't know where the club head is, until I get them into something with a bit more head weight, the club is in a very inconsistent space. And, we know the club face is very small, so it takes nothing to move it, an inch either side
very true.
of zero.
Yep.
So, no,
Yeah,
great question.
It's a great question. And John was also asking this is probably related to the type of feedback I give you. To be honest with you, John, it
makes a
big difference for me. I'm guilty of being understated and reacting to stuff that you give me, and maybe I don't communicate it the best. But yeah, that to be honest with you, weight and swing weight, they do make a massive difference.
Big time.
I probably could do a better job of calling that out in the videos. But yeah, no, it definitely don't use me as your benchmark, but it definitely is something that I do perceive. I just probably don't communicate it all that well in the videos.
You do a good job.
No, just fire me already. Look at this.
You know.
All right, can't.
Do they make pink lead tape?
If they do, Joe, I won't use it because I don't like lead tape. You can make it brown if you want.
You know, we need to get
pink.
little nice little ribbons for your golf bag this summer, and get you a pink golf bag, a pink TXG.
Listen,
golf
we need to
bag.
clarify. When I say I'm a princess, it means I'm what's the word for it?
A princess.
No, it doesn't mean I'm a woman. It just means because now you're saying that
No,
I'm particular.
We
I'm
had
picky.
we said you're at times a little precious.
Yeah, no, again wrong. I almost agree with you. I was like, no. I like things a certain way. Doesn't mean that I like pink. But this is pretty funny. Alan is loving this over there. Alan, am I a princess? He smirked. He smirked. Alan. Oh yeah.
Come on in.
I'm taking a beating on the live. Alan's known me for how long?
Hey, boys.
Chime in on this, Al. You've
What's
known me
going
since
on?
I was 17, 16.
A little bit of a princess.
Absolutely. Maybe just on like Thursdays and Fridays.
So 20% of the time, basically.
It's very, but I like you the way you are.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's
See,
the way
Al's
it is.
an accepting person.
Yeah.
Well, it takes someone like Al to accept.
You mean an
princess.
extremely welcoming, nice person like Al?
I mean, everyone has some
Honestly,
things.
but poor Matty's getting.
This is so funny.
Getting
What started
Yeah.
this? What started the princess thing?
Who's a culprit?
I said it, but you a bit of a princess because you don't like lead tape in your irons.
Oh, because they were asking about lead
'Cause it
tape.
looks
I'm-
messy?
Well, I just
Yeah.
said like people spend a lot of money on irons. Like, do you really want to crap them up and then
All hell broke loose. And plus, he's got a hickey as well.
you got to hit him acupuncture?
Other side.
Ray Tan?
No. Right, man, I hope you're not watching. No, I got a bruise from acupuncture, and it just looks really greasy.
It's okay. Is it
They're
feeling
letting
better
me.
though?
No, it feels terrible. It's probably the worst it's felt in weeks.
Too good.
How's everyone doing? You guys are good? You guys want some
good
more
to see
water,
you.
some beverages?
No,
Or-
I'm good.
we're
I'm good.
good,
We're gonna dive back into these questions.
Okay. Hang on. I'll be right back. I gotta grab my sandwich.
That's Al, everyone.
I am Al.
It's good to see you. All right. Thanks for that interlude. I'm never doing a live again. Okay, from Mike.
Al's losing it behind the
Al's
camera.
peeing his pants right now. Okay.
All right, what we got?
It's Ian's fault. He's
So-
abusive.
G400 LS Tech. So 8 degree to keep the spin down, strong flight but low. 105, 10 to right to left. Any ideas on where to go from here? Strong flight but low.
Sounds like he could use a little stability.
It sounds like to be honest, I mean, I'm not really sure I'm getting what you don't like, about it. I take it as too low. Multiple things you can do for that if you're trying to keep spin down, but you want it to go a bit higher. It's always angle of attack, isn't it? Strike point in the upper half and angle of attack are the two things that will raise launch and keep spin down.
Interesting that Mike was in G400 LST and went to F9 and noticed the ball going lower because I
lower.
certainly haven't noticed that. Like I think if anything I hit F9 about the same height.
Do you?
Don't you think?
Yeah, I would say so.
When I can actually
sure.
make contact.
Yeah, Mike, I would say kind of working your angle attack, your tilts, making sure that you're you've got enough.
Yeah.
You've got the ball position forward, you've got enough tilt, but keep that loft down, and you're still a nice flat flight, but it
Just
will
more
launch
launch.
a little bit higher.
And Mike, let us know if there's more details that would help, and we'll
If we're missing something
we're,
there.
we're scrolling as we speak. Okay, from Joe, another Joe. Do you need to go?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure. My dog's at daycare, so I can stay for a bit.
Love it.
All right. Oh, okay. Joe. Yeah, sorry, Joe. You did ask us this earlier. So he's asking specifically about the short irons and wedges. So, I guess, are they more. What's the word for this? Are they less.
Slower in ball speed?
Yeah,
Or
I
a
guess
little less
are they
ball speed?
more consistent? Like, is the technology such that the 9 iron and the pitching wedge and the 8 iron in the apexes should be less distance oriented than like P790s?
I mean, you look at the P790s though. They take away the slot obviously in the short irons.
Do they? So they're also
Yeah,
progressive?
9 and wedge, I believe. I think it is.
Yeah.
Young Martisevich.
Ricky. So, yeah, for probably not Joe. I would say. I mean, more than likely, you'd have to hit both side by side for Joe to know for sure if he gets more consistent distance control. Mm-hmm. What are you laughing at?
No, just Mikey's being a rebel. Yeah, I would say out of all of those, I'd say P790s might be the slower ones.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
That's not
They
what
could-
people
yeah,
expect.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, needless to say, I'm not trying to be cliched here, but he's got to test them side by side.
Yeah.
How can you know unless you really test them, Joe? But don't assume. I think people assume P790s are jumpy just because they've heard it. They don't know for sure unless you've
They
actually.
really are in the long and mid irons. I
Right.
definitely think they get less jumpy.
Gotcha.
Later on.
Okay. Ron is asking about the new Ventus shaft.
Yeah.
Yes, we did do a small review on it. You would like to
Ron,
hear
what
more?
would you like to know more?
I know. You've done some fittings with it.
Yeah, I've done
How's
a
it
lot
been so
with
far?
it. It's smooth. It's extremely stable. I think it's for the player who's gets a little bit wild with the driver from from time to time.
I think it helps with
I think
consistency.
It's for guys who kind of really load it up. You know that material they use in there, the think they use full length MR70. I think it is that they have in there. They use extremely.
What that means is good stuff?
graphite. Yeah,
Good stuff. I'm just trying to
Interpret for everyone
communicate for
else.
people. Yeah, that's what I do here. If anyone's wondering.
No, it's true. Who's coming on here and putting thumbs down? That's what I want to know.
2 thumbs down. I know.
2. Well, we normally every video gets at least 1 or 2 thumbs down, doesn't it?
Not usually the lives. This must be a terrible live.
My confidence is shot.
I know. Your confidence is shot.
Your confidence must be.
I
Rattled.
literally swung the worst I've swung in like a year coming in here. My neck is killing me, and I'm getting trashed live on the internet.
What a day!
What a day. I'm sure when I go outside, my car will have snow all over it. Someone will have slashed my tires. Just kidding.
All right.
Is this
got?
Martin Brodeur? It's a hockey reference. You wouldn't get that.
I was like, is that supposed to be?
Something you wouldn't understand.
All right. What we got? Negative AOA, launch angle 8 degrees with a 10-degree head.
Spins a bit high.
Yeah.
Callaway. What's that mean? Big Bertha Alpha. Is that what that is? That driver from a few years ago?
Big Bertha Alpha double black diamond. Yep. Watch
Okay.
the look for an optimal spin. Miss can be when you're steep like that. You definitely can miss it both ways.
What's a good negative angle of attack driver that you'd recommend?
A good negative AOA driver. I mean, I'd be trying to kill that spin. We saw that Cobra last year. It's just
Yep.
been an unbelievable driver for that. Didn't
And I was
we?
going to say F9 to me, I know they've improved from F8, but I don't think that characteristic has changed. I think F9 is still a good driver.
Do you know what I
in
really
that
think
sense.
as well? I would try that Mizuno driver.
Okay.
It's a really
Because it'll
good
keep
driver.
his
the
spin down.
rate down. Yeah.
And it does launch decently high.
It really does.
It does.
Yeah.
Those are your short list.
I would say also try and take one side of the golf course out of play.
Like
that will really
try
help.
to fit
Try
yourself
and
for a
fit
one-way miss.
into a driver that takes one side out of play.
That is good advice. I'm going to shout out a Patreon member.
Dude.
So, do you know what I was up to on Patreon this week or no? Remember last week people were asking about Discord. So Discord's like basically a chat feature that a lot of people use it for gaming, but it's not just for gaming.
Okay.
So a lot of the guys on Patreon were asking if they could have a little community where they could chat back and forth. So I set that up.
How was it?
See how much
I know.
appreciation I'm getting for these things.
Well, I tell you what.
I'm just messing with
I
you.
will say,
I know
in
you're
my defense, Patreon, the app is awful.
no, and
It's not awful,
but it's also that Patreon, you're doing the analysis. I'm just messing.
Well,
with you.
the new features, like I try and log in to see people's questions. Like, so I'll get a notification that's a
their
question.
app is brutal.
I'll go in to look at the question, and there's no question there. It's grim.
Patreon is. It's
better if you're on the-
It needs to be used on a desktop.
It has to be used on the
Now
laptop.
what he's talking about is actually a separate app, but I've made it exclusive for Patreon members. That's what we're talking about. Anyway, we're not making fun of Patreon. It's great, but their app needs some work.
Yeah, we wanted to do more, better, and help the community more.
Absolutely. Okay.
What's that?
It just froze. What are you looking at?
What's that? Who's no laying up?
They do course vlogs as well.
Okay.
So I don't know a whole lot about them, but I see them on YouTube. They have a big following. So
Nice.
they sponsored a few guys on the web. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, see, to be honest, I'm all for supporting, obviously, guys in the web.com, that sort of stuff. I would be far more into supporting junior golf. That'd be something that would be a little bit more of a passion project for me.
I don't even think this is necessarily a charity thing. I think they're saying
I think just
promotionally.
Just promotionally, yeah. I mean,
Golfers at that level, the real reality is they're gonna get a contract from a major manufacturer eventually,
and it's tough, even unless you're playing the PGA Tour. There's every other tour in the world, other than European Tour and the PGA Tour. You are struggling.
Is that right?
Yeah,
to get a
absolutely.
contract?
You're losing money. You're
really?
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you're
You gotta be winning.
The travel costs, the coaches, the equipment side of things. If you're not being sponsored, it is hard.
It's a grind, isn't it?
But we're trying to set up a TXG foundation that allows us to support junior golfers and help them come through and provide them with equipment and coaching. And we spoke to Larry about stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys
we're
do
going
with
to do
that.
something like that. It'll be fun.
All right, we've sort of caught up a little bit,
Nice.
I believe.
Nice.
From Alex. This is a question that honestly we have to get some of these in because I almost feel guilty that the number of people that have asked about. What are you laughing at?
Bandit.
No, it'll wait.
Well, it's too good.
Oh, it's not about me? Okay, good.
My God, it's tomorrow and some bugger has drunk all the love for like bedtime for Bandit. Good night.
Bye, Bandit. Thank you for tuning in as always. Okay, back to this question. So the number of people that have asked about Flight Scope, Mevo, what's this one he's asking about? Swing Caddy,
200 or 300.
even Skytrack. I know it's more money.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have to call these companies and ask them. We've
do.
got to
We do.
test them out.
I have tested with multiple of them in fittings, people putting it behind or side
Customers?
by side. Yeah, while
Okay.
fittings are going on. The net difference in the yardage, the actual yardage itself, is minimal.
Okay, so it's the other
Very-
variables that
yeah.
it might not get quite as right.
It's probably not going to represent too many of the other ones all that well, but
Gotcha.
it does the overall calculation does it very well.
So, Alex, in response to what you're specifically asking, I think it's probably best to have more feedback than none. Does it do what a $25,000 GC quad does? Certainly not.
No.
But we will make a concerted effort to reach out and do some real tests because honestly, so many people are asking, and we really need to make that a priority. I think.
It's a good question with Bruce there. If you go back up a little bit.
Bruce.
Headweight on G400 LST is up there. Why is a lighter F9 achieving better ball speed dynamics? It does in certain strikes and it doesn't in others. There's a 4 gram window though with and I've talked to other fitters about this recently about getting 4 to 6 grams extra into that F9 and it just becomes unbelievable.
Adding extra
adding
weight.
more weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
It becomes better with more weight.
Yeah. If you get that combined weight up from, I believe it's like 16, 14 and 2, up to 20 to 22, get the 18 and the 4 or the 18 and 2 in there, it's better.
And to be fair, when we got our sort of like splashy results with it, when I was hitting it, you had upped the head weight.
We had up the head weight and that's the one we got it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a good question.
Yes. Thanks, Bruce.
Good one, Bruce. What is Mikey?
It's
Mikey.
Princess Matty, milady.
My lady. A curtsy. Brandon, thank you. Let me get your question. Okay, I have no idea what this is, so I'm glad that someone is asking while you're here, because I don't know what this means. It is the Maltby playability factor.
I have heard of it. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
As far as I know, it's a general guideline about how playable an iron is, like for handicaps.
I will take a look at it.
Yeah. Brandon, we'll have a look. It's probably
I'm
another one of these
sure-
things that it's better than no information, but
You know, guys, like I think it's probably one of those things that is just, it will be a help in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's a bit like some of the, when we answer certain questions on whether it be online or different things like that.
Yeah.
It's a help in a general direction. Hopefully that stops you making a mistake. That's what this would be like, stop you getting into the completely wrong one.
and wasting your time in a fit
Yeah.
trying something that you can't
sure.
you can't hit.
So no laying up. So this is a podcast.
Yeah, they do make.
Instagram and Twitter mostly.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks
Yeah,
for that,
I
Paul.
think. Yeah, thanks, Paul.
That's
I think they do make some videos. I could be wrong, but I swear I saw them making some kind of videos.
Cool.
They're the guys that coined tour sauce. That's now we know.
Good to know.
M5. What about?
Whisker, it's not so much that the CEO didn't have access to Discord. He wasn't told anything about Discord.
Nonsense.
Did it? Was it?
What do you think? I just do stuff?
Well,
and
when
don't
did you
about
tell
it?
me?
Last week. I said, "What do you think of this?" You're like, "Sounds good," and so I just did it. I didn't think it required your, like, I don't know, item by item approval. I
Just
just
say it, and no one's saying that. I'm just saying he didn't know.
Oh, I love these fucking conversations. They're just getting too good. Okay. Oh, Joe says that the multi-playability factor is awful.
It's awful, is it?
Okay. Well,
Well, I trust Joe.
Joe, you've probably looked at it more than we
trust
have,
Joe.
so appreciate you at least giving us some kind of... You know what? We've caught up.
The Laird and the Princess sounds like a Disney movie.
What's the laird?
The Laird is like a Scottish term for, I guess it's like the kind of owner of that land or the person of that kind of land,
good.
that sort of thing. The
Good.
Laird. Did you never watch Outlander?
No, but I've heard of
You
it.
know what it is.
So you're a landowner, person of wealth, respect in the community. I'm a princess that
Yeah, belongs in a tower.
belongs in a tower and
Has
can't
long
deal with everyday
braided hair.
life, and everything is too much. And yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh man. All right. What do you say we wrap this live stream up? This has been a real beauty.
Pretty good.
Jamie, ST190 fairways. We will do. We just
Some of
don't.
the best. Some
Yeah,
of the best.
Ian loves them.
Yeah, I love them.
I just don't have them in left hand yet, but we will do those.
Nice to see a board meeting down live. That's awesome.
To be honest with you, this is exactly what the two of us meeting is like. It really is. Productive, but all over the map. Okay. You want to get moving?
Yeah, anything else catching up?
Myrtle Beach golfer, ask your question again. You're probably right. I probably did pass your question 5
lot
times.
of questions.
Ask it again. We promise we will get to it. We are testing the M5. We did a bit today.
Yeah, we hit it today. We
Yeah.
had it. It's kicking about here somewhere.
Yeah, we just came in a bit later than other stuff.
It was,
That's all.
it was later.
We weren't avoiding it. That's all.
Some really good news though coming regarding some TaylorMade stuff.
You gonna tease that a bit?
No.
Okay.
All we can say really is that being late to the party is a thing of the past. We will be, if anything, one of the first, if not the first, to do this stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
McDonald's tonight?
No, I'm eating healthy tonight. I ate a medium pizza myself on the weekend, if that makes anyone feel better. Okay, let's take this.
Where's that question from?
So
somebody's
he asked
waiting
us another
for-
question.
okay.
Yeah. So we were talking about Cobra Mizuno for a downward angle of attack.
What about
So he was asking about a shaft recommendation. He was a little high in spin, a little low in launch.
Acra TZ6?
Acura
Straight in
TZ6. Okay.
65 M4.
Good choice. Okay. What about a second option, just in case he doesn't have access to Acura?
What else is kind of general wall?
What else is on a wall of 300,000 shafts?
Something pretty stable here. You could do something in the. I mean, Acura TZ6 is such a unique bend profile, to be honest.
It's just perfect for that type of swing.
It's really good for that guy. You were struggling a little bit with your spin today, and it's one of those shafts that spun less for somebody who was spinning it too much.
Oh, okay.
And it's tips off.
Interesting.
It just is such a unique profile.
Okay, well then, if that's the recommendation, I think that's great.
I would say that's a recommendation. Looking for something else I'm giving. I mean, I'm always of the opinion that I'm trying to stabilise the tip section for the player who has too much spin. So, yeah.
Okay. Myrtle Beach golfer, we are getting your question. So you were 1 1/4 inch short, 2 degrees flat. You're now at standard length, 1 degree upright. So why would that happen? Interesting question.
One of your fittings was a shocker.
Yeah, you think so?
No question.
Assuming nothing's changed in his swing.
I mean, for somebody to recommend 1 1/4 short,
Yeah, that does seem a bit odd, doesn't it?
and right, so you go short, so the club goes short, then you go flat on top of that, so it goes that way. Like, wild the difference between those two recommendations.
They're effectively playing like 5 degrees different in lie or something.
Which iron did you hit? Have you hit better?
That's a good question.
And I'm very curious as to what.
Let us know
when that would be.
We will take that as a follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, what would make that happen? A shocking fit.
Yeah,
There's
so
nothing else.
You think something's wrong?
Yeah.
Unless he completely changes swing, which is unlikely.
You would never change someone an inch and a quarter in length just if they've changed their swing. I've never seen it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll wait for that answer. You good for another 5 minutes?
Yeah. For sure.
I really want to give someone an answer on this, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, we can get it. We can get it for next week.
I don't know if I can swing next week.
know.
I really don't.
Yeah, so that's our problem.
I'll blame me. I'm currently the bottleneck for all videos because my neck is just the worst, and my swing is going down the toilet along with my neck.
Your neck has been the biggest problem.
It's
That's
just,
the thing.
honestly, it is the worst. The worst.
Apex was...
So we hit the apex better, but it was the same fitter.
That's scary.
You've shocked Ian. What have you done?
That's scary.
Well, good that he's got something better now, I guess. But that M2.
I don't know if one's better than the other. I just know one of them's wrong.
Yeah, he's saying he's hitting the
wrong.
apex better. Something went a little off with that M2 fitting, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, obviously.
I mean, did he do the first one with a blindfold on?
Were they drinking Lafroig
The good
or
stuff.
whatever you were
drinking Lafroig with Bandit.
Bandit drank it all.
So
Why do
someone
people-
else drank it. It wasn't Bandit. He's taking no responsibility for it.
Why do people keep saying Tiger's having neck problems? Or is that a reference to the, what would you call it?
Swan necking.
Yeah, swan necking. Tiger has swan necking problems. I think that's what Zach's saying.
He has swan necking issues.
That's pretty funny, Zach.
Got to be worth something to show.
It is. It takes a lot to shock him.
Well, I mean, it's like that post. I posted something on my Instagram last week of somebody who had a 9-degree Callaway Rogue Sub-Zero driver and a 12-degree.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So, like, one guy had fit our customer into a 12-degree with a 75-gram stiff Kyoshi gold, and then another fitter had fit him into like a 9-degree turned down to 8 with a 50-gram regular.
Oh, this is the same guy.
Same guy.
Oh, for God's
4
sake.
degrees of difference in the loft, completely different heads, an absolute shocker.
What's that nonsense?
Shocker.
Yeah, I did look. I just didn't realize it was done like basically with the same kind of head and everything. That's ridiculous. Stealing people's money.
Definitely.
All right. I have no idea what that is. Miyazaki
Kalua.
something.
Well,
Stiff?
we can get it in here and test it. We can get it from the Cleveland guys.
Oh,
Trixon guys.
is that who owns Miyazaki?
Yeah.
So he loves the feel of that, but he wants something more tip stiff. Give him a couple recommendations. What do you think? Is it a lighter shaft? Those ones? Like, what's the deal with
they're
those?
light. They're
Okay.
specialised in some light stuff. I mean, there was.
We had a couple questions about this today, didn't we?
About
light.
Miyazaki?
No, about light tip stiff shafts.
I know. It's funny. I never. I've been down that path myself where I thought lighter would help me increase my club head speed, but stiffer would help me increase my accuracy at the same time. Never really worked. It's all about just trying to find the right balance of both. But something in a 5S profile. I mean, Graphite Design IZ5.
Sorry, not to interrupt. Tiger withdrew from Bay Hill?
Oh, jeez.
Wow, didn't know that.
That is a shocker.
Next strain.
Jeez.
That's too bad.
That sucks. I'm glad I never went. I was going to.
I was thinking about it too because I had a friend of mine that was almost going, and I was thinking I might just do it.
I was kind of excited to go because I thought he was going to be playing really well, and
Well, hopefully it's nothing long term.
that's not good leading up to the Masters.
No.
That's one of his staples, isn't it, to get ready?
I wonder what he did.
Interesting. It's devastating.
Some people weren't making fun of Tiger swan necking. He actually did hurt himself.
He was not swan
It's
necking
hilarious
the legs.
how we just immediately say, oh, Tiger's looking at asses, so he hurt his neck. Poor guy actually got injured. Okay, 9 to 5 golf. I hope we helped you out there. Yeah, it's as we said earlier.
Graphite Design IZ5
Yeah,
stiff.
IZ5 stiff. Sorry, I interrupted.
I would say TZ5, 55. Probably TZ6 and 5 would be better. If it's looking for something a little bit more tip stiff.
Those are both good options.
Good options.
Okay. I can't believe Tiger withdrew. It's wild.
Shocker.
I was really looking forward to seeing that. Okay, we need to get going. Bradley says,
Bradley,
why are you still going? Bradley, I don't know what we're doing, to be honest with you.
He's not saying why, he's just saying you guys still going.
I know. No, I'm saying why. Okay.
Still going. The batteries need to change the batteries.
Oh, my goodness.
The Energizer Bunny.
Okay, we're going to take this from Matthew. But, guys, if you can hold your questions until next week, we will get to them next week. But let's take this last one. Fit for G400 Max with a Kuro Kaji Silver in the X Flex. This is a question you get quite a bit. Because fairway wood shafts do not necessarily always match the driver shaft. I know you're going to have to be pretty general with this, but what do you think some good fairway wood shaft options would be?
I'm trying to think of their matrix. Like the tough thing is knowing their stock.
Are you thinking about ping?
Sort of matrix.
Oh, okay. It is tough not knowing that. It's true.
I mean, you could certainly try the Alta Tour 75. Certainly try that as a nice fairway wood option. In the ping. I mean, generally speaking, something like again, it depends on the characteristics. These are really, really tough.
No, I know it's a tough question.
Based on general, not knowing anything about how the player delivers it, we're always trying to kind of pick a bend profile that matches a delivery or a load type.
Generally, a little bit more of an active tip in the fairway is helpful.
Like, give you a few shafts I love for fairway on our wall. I really like the Graphite Design F16. It's a really good one. And did we do a video on that? On designated fairway wood length shafts?
Nope.
So I don't know if we've ever talked about that. So rather
no, we did.
than
You did one on driving iron shafts.
Yeah, rather than taking a 46-inch driver shaft and cutting it down to fit a fairway wood, these actually come shorter lengths to start with. So they actually retain more mass and they actually perform quite differently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's ideally what you would look for in an aftermarket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Matthew, hopefully that answers. If it doesn't, feel free to leave us a comment after the stream has uploaded, which will take forever because it was 2 hours long, but we will we'll certainly follow up with you if there's something else we can help you with. Jamie, thank you for that. I don't know that you had a question, but we are going to get on the road, I think. What do you think?
Time to hit the road.
This was fun, though.
Yeah, this is a monster.
Always good for a laugh.
I know.
At my expense.
I'm just fearing it for next week.
I know. Next week it'll just be an absolute gong show. Yeah, this was good. Can't say we had the most productive day in filming, so it'll be a little light on videos. Yeah. I was a disaster, so
it was tough. The iron stuff was tough. We set an ambitious schedule for driver videos, and we had planned to do a bunch of stuff. And Matt's next still not really up to it.
However, the lie board video that you tagged in for is really good, I think.
Yeah, so guys, we done a little test with a lie board to show you guys the difference between lie boards and dynamic lie angle fitting on GC Quad, and just some ways in which we think you guys can, not be sort of misled by what a lie board does. Yeah. So if you're in a fitting and the fitter uses tape and a board and is trying to map that strike point to the middle, we're going to help you with some ways in which you can use that kind of tape, but also what to pay attention to most. What are the most important factors to help your flight? Yeah, I think it'll be a very valuable video for someone who's never had lie fit except for with a lie board. Shot like Mike. Night night princess. Night shot like Mike. Thank you for that. Blooper reel. Yeah, we could do about 6-hour blooper reel from today, couldn't we? Oh, I went through 2 memory cards and there's almost no videos on them. All right. Funny. So 3 new videos this week. Be a bit lighter, and we will see you guys likely next Monday for another live and some more videos. Quickly.
You have to say thanks to Patrick.
Oh, Patrick.
Did he send you that picture?
Yes, I did see it. Yeah, I
they're
did see
cool.
it, Patrick.
Patrick, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're a good man,
We're
Patrick.
excited about that. I really am.
Well, and a big thank you to Patrick because of Patrick, we had a really nice email from the guys at Cut. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah,
about the
you
cut
told me.
golf balls.
Well, I saw the Instagram message chain too. Oh no, did I? Oh, I answered the Instagram and then they emailed
okay. Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Right. Another board meeting.
you. Divide and conquer.
Yeah, that's exactly. So no, it was good. So all thanks to Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick,
for
that was
because,
that was all you're doing.
Yeah, the door is now open officially, and we can get some cut golf balls to test.
They're going to email
and,
us, or sorry, they're going to send us
some more.
of the mods.
Yeah. So hopefully, this week we can reach out to Snell and a few other companies. I'd like to start building a little test pile. So it's good.
Sounds
you,
good.
All
Yeah,
thanks
thank
to
you
my
again.
friend.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. This was awesome. It was fun. It was casual. It was lighthearted.
As always.
This was a little bit more than
Was it?
usual. You think? Yeah, I think I swore about 8 times. Probably get demonetized. All right, we'll see you guys next Monday.
We will. Thanks, guys.